Hi, kids. Welcome to Bedtime Stories with Oliver, Roma, and Diana. Today we are going to read you 3 bedtime stories. So grab your blankets and pillows and get ready for an exciting night. The first story is called Lost Kitten. Once upon a time in a little cottage in the woods lived a girl named Lily. Lily loved animals and dreamed of having a pet kitten. She would often go to the nearby forest and look after the cute, fluffy kittens she could find. One day, while walking through the trees, Lily noticed something strange. All the birds were making a ruckus, flapping their wings and chirping loudly. Curious, she followed their gaze and saw a tiny kitten stuck high up in a tree. The poor thing was mewing pitifully, unable to climb down. Without hesitation, Lily rushed to help. She looked around for a sturdy branch to climb on and soon began to ascend the tree. As she got closer, she could hear the kitten's desperate cries. Finally, she reached the frightened creature and gently cradled it in her hands. As she climbed down, the kitten snuggled into her, purring with relief. Back at home, Lily cleaned the kitten and fed it warm milk. It was so cute, with soft gray fur and bright green eyes. Lily couldn't resist its charms and immediately decided to keep it as her pet. She named it Misty, and the two became inseparable. They played together every day, and Misty would curl up on Lily's bed at night, purring contentedly. However, one day as Lily and Misty were playing in the garden, disaster struck. A loud clap of thunder shook the ground and Misty panicked, running away from home. Poor Lily was heartbroken. She searched everywhere for her beloved cat but couldn't find it anywhere. She felt terrible for not protecting Misty and worried that she might never see her furry friend again. As evening approached, Lily sat down on a nearby tree stump, tears streaming down her face. Suddenly, she heard a familiar meow. Could it be? She turned around and there was Misty, soaked and shivering in the rain. Relief washed over Lily as she rushed to comfort her missing feline companion. Despite being scared, Misty rubbed against Lily's legs, purring gratefully. Lily was overjoyed and scooped up her cat, hugging her tightly. Then she carried Misty inside, wrapped her in a warm towel and gave her some milk. That night as they cuddled together on Lily's bed, the little girl realized that no matter how scared or lost her pet got, as long as they had each other, they would always find their way back to each other. From that day on, whenever there was a thunderstorm, Lily would stay out with Misty, comforting her until it passed. Their bond grew even stronger, proving that love and friendship can conquer any fear. And so the two friends continued to live happily ever after in their cozy cottage in the woods. The second story is called The Magical Lamp. In a bustling city, there lived a young boy named Alex who dreamed of having magical powers. One day while exploring his attic, he stumbled upon an old lamp covered in dust. Intrigued, he wiped it clean and suddenly a friendly genie popped out. Alex couldn't believe his eyes. The genie explained that he was bound to the lamp and would grant Alex 3 wishes in exchange for his freedom. Alex thought carefully about his wishes. He wanted to have fun, but he also didn't want to be selfish. His first wish was to have a flying carpet like the one in the stories his grandmother used to tell him. The genie waved his magic wand and poof, a magnificent carpet appeared before Alex. It was red and blue with golden stars scattered across it. Overjoyed, Alex flew around the city, feeling like a true hero from a fairy tale. But soon he started to feel bored. Flying carpets are fun, he thought, but they're not that useful. For his second wish, Alex wished to become invisible. The genie granted his wish and poof, Alex vanished from sight. At first, this was really exciting. He could sneak into movies for free and listen to people's secrets without them knowing. But as the hours passed, Alex began to feel lonely. No one could see him, not even his family and friends. He missed their hugs and laughter. Being invisible wasn't as fun as he had imagined. For his last wish, Alex wished to be visible again. The genie waved his magic wand and poof, Alex reappeared in his attic. He felt so grateful to be back. Then he remembered the lamp. If he had cleaned it, the genie would be free and could grant him more wishes. But Alex knew now that having magical powers isn't everything he had dreamed of. Real friends and family are the greatest treasures one can have. He carefully placed the lamp back in the attic, deciding to keep his adventure a secret. From that day on, Alex cherished his life even more. He understood that being invisible or having superpowers isn't important when you have real friends and family who love you. Alex learned a valuable lesson about appreciating what you have and cherishing the people in your life. And so he continued to live happily ever after with his head full of magical adventures. And now the third story, which is called The Brave Little Mouse. In a cozy farmhouse lived a family of mice. There was Papa Mouse, Mama Mouse, and their 3 children, Mickey, Minnie, little Rosie. Now Rosie was the tiniest mouse you ever did see. She had big dreams of exploring the world outside their farmhouse, but her parents were too afraid to let her go. One day, while gathering food in the kitchen, Rosie heard a sound that made her heart skip a beat. It was a tiny squeak, and she couldn't help but follow it. She soon found a baby bird that had fallen out of its nest. The little bird was chirping sadly, and Rosie felt a surge of sympathy. She wanted to help, but she was just a little mouse. What could she do? Thinking quickly, Rosie scurried back to the kitchen and gathered some crumbs. Then she returned to the baby bird and left the treats near it. The bird must have been hungry, because it pecked at the crumbs and chirped happily. Rosie felt a warmth in her heart. Helping others felt good, but she knew she had to get back to the safety of her hole before her parents noticed she was missing. As she turned to leave, she heard a loud crash. A big gray cat had entered the room and was eyeing the baby bird. Rosie's heart pounded in her chest. She had to do something. Taking a deep breath, she stood up on her hind legs and squeaked as loud as she could. The cat jumped, startled by the tiny mouse's bravery. And in that moment, Rosie dashed to the bird and pushed it toward its nest. From a safe distance, Rosie watched as the mother bird fed and cared for her baby. She felt a sense of pride. Although she was just a little mouse, she had shown courage and kindness. When Rosie returned home, her parents were frantic with worry. They hugged her tightly, grateful to have their little girl back safe and sound. Rosie told them about the baby bird, and her parents were filled with admiration. They realized that their daughter had a kind and brave heart, and they were so proud of her. From that day on, Rosie continued to explore the world outside their farmhouse, always looking for ways to help others. Her parents were still worried, but they knew that their brave little mouse could handle anything. And so the legend of Rosie, the tiny yet courageous mouse, was passed down through the generations, inspiring all the little creatures in the farmhouse and beyond. Thank you for joining us on this enchanting journey through bedtime stories with Oliver, Roma, and Diana. We hope you've enjoyed these tales of bravery, friendship, and magic as much as we've loved bringing them to you. If you've liked our stories, don't forget to show your support. Your encouragement means the world to us and keeps us motivated to create more adventures for you to enjoy. So if you've enjoyed this episode, give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and leave us a comment below with your favorite character or your own. Bedtime stories. Until next time, sweet dreams and happy reading.